What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Godspeed ZRZ. Now, if you watched the last video, you saw we put the Rubicon 392 through its paces and we got a real test for its off-road capabilities with these 38 1550s. Now, since the ending of that video, I didn't get a chance to go over the damages that were involved with that trip. And today, that's exactly what we're gonna do. And we're actually gonna be able to fix them in this video too. So first of all, I'm gonna pull this thing out and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, as you can see, issue number one is just the actual rear fender flare. So whenever I got back home, I was actually spraying it off, and yes, I did already spray this one off, but whenever I was going to these fenders in the back, I was trying to get the rocks out of the little crevices where they usually collect, and as soon as I just pulled one rock out, almost the entire fender just fell right down. But for this rear fender here, definitely gonna have to get some new clips and snap it back in. Well, there's no coming back from this. So all that it really was these clips that hold in right here, the white clips, they were actually just broken off. Where the tire had articulated and shifted the fender, just ripped them right off. So not too big of an issue. We will go get some parts for that later and we should be able to fix it pretty easily. Now, as for the scratches, there are quite a few scratches on this thing, and hopefully the camera will be able to pick it up. Everything just kind of got mangled up pretty good. Nothing too bad. I mean, there are quite a few scratches that you can see that just go down the side here. And it's not horrible. It's kind of like that all the way down the Jeep for now, and we really can't see all of them until, you know, I do go ahead and clean it up a little bit better. So, ooh, that's a pretty good one. And the top itself is probably what got beat up the most. It's not absolutely horrible, like I said, but it is pretty rough. So what we're gonna do first is just go ahead and get some parts from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, get those clips, install those on the fender, and then throw the fender on, and we'll clean it up and see how bad the scratches really are. So now that we know what needs to be fixed, I'm gonna run to the Chrysler store real quick, pick up a couple of those clips, see what the damage is, and then we'll come back here and install them. And we are here at Freeland Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. I just had to show you guys this thing they had sitting here. I guess they must have took it in on trade, but dang. I guess it's a 2019 2500. Got some custom bumpers on there, color match suspension components, FTS suspension lift, and some TSL boggers. Good Lord. These things are absolutely massive. Let's see what size they actually are. Golly. Obviously rubs quite a bit right there, you can see. But if you see this thing going down the road, you're definitely gonna notice it. And they do have quite a few pre-owned Jeeps here right now. But they've also got a Big Bend Bronco with an aftermarket set of wheels and tires. Doesn't look too bad. I've been kicking around the idea of getting rid of the Sorrento and getting one of these with the hard top. But let me know what you guys think, if that's something you'd want to see on the channel. It's definitely something I'd be interested in testing out, seeing how they actually do. Or, of course, we all know about the TRX. I'm actually repping the Street Speed 717 TRX shirt today, but this would be ideal. It's a great spec on this one. It looks really good. I love the all black. Let's see what the price point is on this one. So total, it's only $80,000, which really isn't that bad for what it is. Good looking interior. This one's brand new. Must have just came off the truck. But we've got the clips and we're good to go on back home. So as for the fender itself, like you can see, it all basically just came off in one piece. And what broke is just these white clips on a lot of these spots. They go all the way around in the front and also in the back. And some of them, the actual fender piece itself is damaged a little bit. None of them are too bad, but I just got some new clips, so we'll go ahead and throw them in and see if we can just throw this fender right back on. So now that we got all the clips back in, let's line it up on the Jeep and see if it'll just snap right back in. Now, these clips were only $14 for all of them. So in all honesty, it wasn't that bad, and it's not gonna hurt really anybody's wallet. $14 whenever the fender breaks off. That's a pretty good alternative for a lot of the metal fender flares I've ran in the past. If something major did happen to them, it would also rip the body pretty bad, and then you'd have to do a little bit of body work. So with these, just some plastic clips breaking, it's pretty nice. That was too easy. And now we're gonna put back in the friction clips that just hold the inner fender well liner back in, and this thing will be as good as new. So now what we're gonna do is just simply clean this thing up a little bit and really get an idea of how bad the scratches really are and see if they can just be buffed out. Something cool I did pick up is this cheap little, kind of like a foam cannon that attaches to your water hose. I've had really bad luck with basically any foam cannon in the past, so I don't expect this to go any better, but hey, for 15 bucks, I figured why not give it a shot, right? Now, one thing I completely forgot to mention was actually the antenna right here. It also got ripped off. I guess it was on the ride. I hadn't noticed it before. So went back to O'Reilly's, got a super shorty for it. Not too bad, they're usually about 20 bucks. And another thing I did notice is on the underside here, we did get a couple bends down here where the rock slider should be. Now, as you guys know, I haven't cut these down yet just to make them clear, so definitely should have had those on. But once we get them cut up, they'll fit on there pretty nice. They'll look really good, and it'll definitely help the Jeep out next time we go riding. And now that we've got it all cleaned up, you can see the scratches quite a bit better. There are quite a few that are pretty rough, but none that are absolutely horrible. You guys might not even be able to see them on camera. They're so minimal. Most of them are just something really simple like this right here that'll most definitely buff out. Then I've got a couple scratches down here like this, and they're a little bit worse, but they're honestly not that bad. A couple more up here going all the way up. One long one going down the side, and of course the mirrors are pretty beat up, but with some black polish that should fix most of that. And basically everything off of the A-pillar is not really noticeable at all. You probably can't even see it on camera, but it's definitely into the clear coat, nothing major. But the most important thing really is just, to me, is just the hood, and the hood's all clean. It looks really good now, especially all shined up. You guys probably haven't even seen it this shined up before. It didn't take too long, but with the setup I'm using now, it was actually pretty efficient. It did really good. And I just wanted to show you guys real quick what I typically use. So I do use the Cobalt electric pressure washer, the 40 volt max. Whenever I have the water hose hooked up with a foam cannon or something like that, I just run a bucket full of water and use this little setup right here. It actually just pulls the water out and runs it to the pressure washer. And for this little thing right here, it did amazing. It did really good. You can see here, it's got a couple different options. So you can actually use the foam when you need it and then use it as a normal water hose. Now, the only thing I will say is I wish the reservoir tank was a little bit bigger. I filled it up quite a few times, but other than that, it worked really well. So now that it is all cleaned up and we've basically went over all the damages, we've got the fender flare back on. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the antenna back on and we should be all good to go. And they didn't have a carbon fiber one this time, but I went with the exact same one, just in all black. but I completely forgot about the interior. So all in all, guys, damage from test number 1 was not bad at all. What it really did more than anything was just give me some great ideas for what we need to do next. Now, number 1 on the list has been Fender Flares. I had been talking to Fab Fours about a possible sponsorship, and they've pushed it back, so it's not going to happen this year for that one. But that opens the door to many different options in terms of high clearance Fender Flares. Now, one brand I have been looking at in particular was the Bushwhacker Hyperform. And with those, they give you a factory style look, but they give you quite a bit more clearance from what I can tell, and that seems like a really good option to go with. So let me know what you guys think about that, and if any of you are already running that setup. So that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you wanna see next. But until next time, just take it easy.